Hi guys, hi guys. Hi guys. Oh my god. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am doing another Q&A. I kind of feel like that's all I ever do, but I feel like they're the best videos for trying to help people out. If you're going through cancer, or you're coming up to the end of cancer treatment, or you're a little bit behind me in the journey and you kind of want to find out what the next bit is going to be like from my experience, then I feel like this is the best kind of setup for a video. So today, if you haven't read from the title, is a life after cancer Q&A. So I asked you guys to send me over some questions on Instagram, and yeah, I'm going to answer them. A lot of the questions were quite similar, so I'm not going to answer every single one, but hopefully you'll get your answer to your question from one of the other questions. So I'm just going to jump right in with the first question. How has cancer affected your dating life, and do you think it knocked your confidence with dating? So I feel like I've kind of answered this before, but I'll go ahead and do it because it was probably one of the most asked questions. So I broke up with my kind of long-term boyfriend. I think I was with him for like a year and a half before I was diagnosed. So it was about maybe 3 weeks before I was diagnosed, and then I was single for the whole of my cancer treatment. At the time, I thought that was the worst thing in the world ever. I won't answer that. Sorry, my phone rang, I'm distracted now. I was single for all of my cancer treatment. At the time, I did think that was literally the worst thing ever that could have happened. I felt really lonely, obviously wasn't in the position to be going out and dating new people. I also didn't want to talk to anyone new. I kind of wanted who I felt comfortable around, and that was my ex-boyfriend who I couldn't have. So for kind of like 6 months I was feeling quite shit about that. But as soon as my treatment was over, I felt really, well, I was happy that I'd done it on my own, because I knew that I'd gone through like the hardest thing ever on my own, and I knew from like that moment that I never would need anyone in my life. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, I want to be with somebody obviously, but to have done that on my own was like quite an achievement, I felt, and yeah, made me a stronger person than to have gone back to an ex because of the situation I was in, not because of like how good the relationship was. Does that make sense? Anyway, so that brings me to now, 7 months post-treatment, and for the first like few months after cancer, I definitely wasn't interested in being with anyone at all. I still didn't feel like myself. I felt like a stranger in my own skin, and I felt like I needed to get to know this new person before I was with anyone else. But I kind of feel a lot more confident in myself now. Like, I've got to know myself better, and I prefer myself now to what my old self was. This is so hard to put into words, but basically what I'm trying to say is I was no longer like grieving being the person that I was pre-cancer anymore, and I'm happy with who I am now. I'm confident and definitely ready to be with somebody because I love myself, so I can feel confident that somebody else can love me. That got deep. Anyway, I hope that kind of answers the question. In terms of like sleeping around with loads of boys, that's never really been my kind of thing. I've never felt confident enough to do that. If I ever slept with somebody and then they didn't talk to me the next day, I'd be literally heartbroken, even if I'd never met them before in my life. But so yeah, but I've never done that, and I still would never do that. But maybe if I had done that before, I would feel confident to do that now. What I'm trying to say is I feel back to being confident. So, oh my god, this is so difficult to explain. I should have thought about these answers before I started filming, but hey ho. I feel like I've made a right mess of that question. Anyway, I'll go to the next question, which is a bit easier to answer. When did you get back into exercise? Quite recently, actually. I had this thing in my head while I was going through treatment that as soon as it was over, I was going to be the most active person ever. I was so bored of lying around all the time, and just thought, like, as soon as this is over, I'm going to be going out for runs, I'm going to go to the gym every day, I'm going to get the body of my dreams, I'm going to be so toned, and that isn't reality. That after treatment, I probably felt more tired than I had for the whole of treatment. I literally couldn't stop sleeping, and exercise, if I did any form of exercise in a day, for the rest of that day I was an absolute write-off and just wouldn't be able to move from bed. So I started exercising probably, I'm gonna say 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago, because oh no, 4 months ago. How is it April? So I started in the new year, new me. And I got a personal trainer, and I went to her once a week for an hour, and that quite literally was all I could manage in a week, and that was fine because that kind of eased me in. More recently, I got a gym membership, and I go to the gym probably an extra 2 times a week, so I exercise 3 times a week, and I'm really starting to see the difference in my body. I'm kind of getting to the point where I like envisioned I would be the day after treatment. Little did I know that's not a thing. I am really enjoying exercise more than I ever have done before, because I think it's that whole new appreciation for like discovering how, like, what my body's actually capable of. Like, it's been at its worst, and to see it get better and better and better is so satisfying. And not in terms of like how I look, in terms of like, I do a 2k row and it gets faster every week, and I'm like, that is literally my body getting fitter, and how satisfying is that after it being so unfit that I actually couldn't get up the stairs. So yeah, I think you need to give your body time to rest before you go wild with exercise. And I know that probably in your head you're thinking, as soon as I finish treatment, I'm going to be a gym junkie like I thought I was going to be. But I don't know, sorry to be a letdown, but it's probably not going to be like that. I also found that exercise has helped massively with my fatigue now. It used to be like, if I did exercise, I'd be so tired, but now it's like, if I don't exercise, I'm so tired. So it's really like become part of my routine, which is nice, and if I go at the right time of day, it makes me so productive for the rest of the day. So yeah, I feel like I'm back to my level of fitness that I was pre-cancer, and that's 7 months post-treatment. I hope that's a helpful answer to people. The next question that I got so many people asking is, are you gonna keep your hair short? I don't know. Some days the answer is yes, and some days the answer is categorically no, I hate my hair. Today I'm actually quite liking it, but sometimes I'm like, I look in the mirror and I think, I didn't choose this hair, and it's so unfair that I've got it, and I hate it, and it looks like a person's hair who was ill. And realistically, people who meet me now, they don't associate my hair with an illness. It's kind of past that stage, and I think I need to get over it because it's actually quite cool and I like it, but because I associate it with cancer still, that's stops me from liking it. And sometimes I miss long hair to like straighten and blow dry and curl and stuff like that and just feel like girly. This hair, I get out of the shower and I go with a hairdryer and it's done. I actually really miss like playing with hair basically, because my hair was so long before. But I mean, I feel like if I went back to having long hair, I would feel like I'm the same as everyone else, and I wouldn't like that. So it's a bit of a predicament, I'm not gonna lie. And basically the answer is I don't know. Next question, are you more ruthless or more generous with your time now? I think I'm definitely more ruthless. I do a lot more stuff that I do for me, and I never used to be like that before. I don't think I even had space in my mind to like realise that I wanted to do things for me. Does that make sense? I never knew that I was capable of the things that I know I'm capable of now, and the only reason I know that is because I had so much time to myself. So I don't want to stop doing that. I don't want to like give all my time to other people, which is the way I used to be. I used to hate my own company and want to be with people 24/7, but I spend quite a lot of time on my own now, and that time is probably the time where I am most happy, because that's how I like discovered that I am capable of more things. But I know in my head the people who do make me happy and the people who I trust and who have always been there for me, and being in their company and knowing that they're people who want the best for me is also a really good time, like way to spend your time. I have to say I have a select few people who I spend time with, and that's kind of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm generous in some ways. Like I'm more like, is the word empath? I feel more empathy for other people if they're going through something rubbish, because I know how that feels and I didn't before. So I'm generous in that kind of way. And I do things for people who I care about because they've done things for me. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with I'm more ruthless. Next question is a really good one, actually. I can't stand my flat now after cancer. It just reminds me of being sick. Did this happen to you? Yes. I had to redecorate my room because, like, I spent so much time in my room just staring at nothing because I felt too ill to, like, go on my phone or watch TV. So I knew, like, off by heart every single, like, mark on a piece of furniture, or, like... So, for example, in my bed, if I face to my... Hang on. Left, right. If I face to my right and look at my bedside table, there was like a little mark of nail varnish on the bedside table, and that little mark just reminded me of feeling so ill because of the times when I would just lie there and stare at that blimmin' mark for days. And so yeah, I actually had to get rid of all my furniture. I got new blinds, new bedding, and yeah, just a fresh start. Unfortunately, you couldn't do the same for the whole house, but if I had the chance, then I would have. I'm kind of over it now, though. It doesn't remind me of it too much. The answer to that is yes, and I think that's really normal. It's just like associating things with bad memories, basically. Next question. Do you ever worry about the cancer coming back, and how do you deal with this? Yes, yes, and yes. I think about it probably every 10 minutes. Every single little pain that I have in my body, I'm like, oh, it's back. Like if I have a little twinge in my neck or a little pain in my chest, or just because I'm so aware of what it could be, because before I thought, oh, that pain's nothing. I can't still think that now because I was proven wrong, if that makes sense, and I don't trust my body. And yeah, basically the answer is yes, I have those thoughts all the time, and sometimes it's like a really overwhelming anxiety, and I've had times where I've literally taken myself to the hospital, demanded scans, and I just think that's the way you've got to be, because that is the only thing that's going to put your mind at rest. So if you are getting so overwhelmed with how worried you are and it's actually stopping you from getting on with your day-to-day life, just go and see your oncologist, and he'll probably put your mind at rest and tell you like you're being ridiculous, or if he doesn't think you're being ridiculous, he'll give you a scan and it will prove you wrong. So yeah, my advice is don't worry about wasting their time, just go, and they'd rather you did that than you just kept quiet anyway, because if it is something, then they're going to want to catch it. But other ways I deal with it is keeping busy, to be honest. If I kind of feel like those thoughts are taking over my mind, keep busy, go and do some exercise, that really clears your mind. Yeah, but yeah, the overarching thing that I have to say is don't worry about going to see your oncologist all the time. I'm the most annoying person in the world. I'm there like probably once a month, like I felt this, I feel this, is this normal? And yeah, I think I'm going less and less, because I know that every single time the answer is nothing, but that's the only thing that actually does put my mind at rest. Next question is, do you ever question, why did this happen to me, and how do you get over that? I'm gonna sound like an absolute Fruit Loop, but I'm literally so glad that this happened to me. Like, I feel lucky that it happened to me. It's changed my life for the better in so many ways, and so I've never really had that oh why me kind of thought, apart from before I like started going through the treatment and stuff. As soon as it started, I was grateful that I'd been given this like opportunity and this fresh start at life to realise everything that I wanted my life to be. And yeah, it's kind of that realisation that life isn't a dress rehearsal. Life is like, this is life, and you've got to go and live it. And when it nearly gets ripped away from you, that is probably the only thing that could have made me realise that. I feel like I was like cruising along in life before, and now I'm like properly living life and realising everything that I can make my life, and I can make it what I want it to be. So basically, I don't really question why did this happen to me, because I'm actually really glad that it happened. And I think that's a really good way to be. So maybe if you could try and like switch your mindset to thinking about all the positives that have come out of your cancer journey, you'll stop thinking like that. Write down everything that is positive that has come out of, like how it's made you grow as a person and what you want for after, and all of these things, and I think you'll realise that actually that had to happen in your life to get you to where you're going to go next. And that's kind of what I realised quite early on. So I think that kind of brings the questions to a close. If you've got any more, then just send them my way. Maybe I'll do another like question and answer thing on Instagram, but hopefully I've answered everything that you want to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again hopefully next week.